Hello, Huskies fans, and welcome to round one of the Huskies Trivia Mayhem Tournament of Glory. We've had Huskies Trivia Mayhem going on for the good part of the fall semester here at St. Cloud State University, and now it's time to throw it all into a tournament. I'm Thomas Breach. I'll be hosting the black side of the tournament. Sam Getzinger will be on the red side, and today we have the number 1, 10, and 15 seeds with us here today. Ranked number 1, the heavyweight here in this entire tournament, we have Matt Reimer, the St. Cloud State men's basketball coach. Obviously, that's who he will be representing here in this tournament of glory. Coach Reimer, you're 2 for 2, I believe, in winning here in Huskies Trivia Mayhem. You're the number 1 seed. Did you expect anything else?
No, I clearly expect to dominate. No offense, Joe and Jeremy, no offense.
Well, that's some strong words there from Coach Reimer. That's a good start. We like it. We like the competition.
My previous competition was garbage. These guys, I'm sure, are going to be much better.
That's what we like to hear. The black side of the tournament is loaded, and we have 2 more here on the black side of the tournament. Ranked number 10 here on the side and representing the entire St. Cloud State University student body, which is a very, very hefty shoulder to load. Jeremy Mattis, how do you feel about representing all the students?
Well, I just got put into this about 10 minutes ago, so we'll see how it goes.
You know, I think that's kind of what we expect here in this world of 2020. We're going on a 10-minute by 10-minute basis. So, Jeremy, glad to have you with us. Joey, it looks like you're set up in my old stomping grounds down at KVSC. Joey Erickson representing Husky Productions. Another big load to carry there, Joey.
Absolutely, yeah. Down in the basement is Stuart Hall. Getting after it. I'm a little bit rattled after Coach Reimer's comments, so I'm going to have to lock in now, get after it here.
Those number 1 seeds, they step into the building and you already know that they're there. So for the fans out there, remember that the Huskies Trivia Mayhem Tournament of Glory is sponsored by the St. Cloud State University Huskies app. You can get the SCSU Huskies app on both the App Store and the Google Play Store. So we have Coach Reimer, we have Jeremy Mattis, we have Joey Erickson, and now it's time to take a look at the bracket. It is up on the screen now for all of you watching. Again, we have the number 1 seed, Matt Reimer, the number 10 seed, Jeremy Mattis, and the number 15 seed, Joey Erickson, here with us today. We know the rules by now for Trivia Mayhem. 10 questions. The 10th question is short answer. You get a point for every correct answer. We start with the top seed. The top seed will give his answer. If he's incorrect, it goes on to Jeremy. If he's incorrect, we go to Joey. If he's incorrect, nobody gets points. And then on question 2, we start with Jeremy, so on, so forth. Coach Reimer, you start with 1 point already because you are the top seed in this tournament. And you also get to pick the category that we'll be asking questions from here today. Your 5 options are number 1, sports records, number 2, Marvel movies, number 3, Minnesota sports trivia, number 4, 90s movie trivia, or number 5, throwback trivia, which is all trivia questions from previous installations of Huskies Trivia Mayhem.
Well, I'm not a Marvel guy, and I know these guys probably know a lot about sports, especially Minnesota, so I'm going to go with the 90s movie. Hopefully they weren't yet when these movies were out.
I have a hunch that both of these guys are probably not born in the 90s or maybe really, really young at that point. So we are going with 90s movie trivia as selected by Coach Matt Reimer. And Coach Reimer, you are on the docket now for question number 1. In the movie Independence Day, what was Will Smith's character's name? Was it A, Stephen Hiller, B, Mike Johnson, C, Damian Marshall, or D, Zach Anderson?
That would be A, Captain Stephen Hiller.
That is correct. Coach Reimer has 2 points. Goose eggs for Jeremy and Joey, neither of which have answered a question yet, so that point total is expected. Jeremy, we turn things over to you with question number 2. Which actor took on the now famous role of Mrs. Doubtfire? Is it A, Brad Pitt, B, Robin Williams, C, Eddie Murphy, or D, Jack Nicholson?
I'm going to have to go with C, Eddie Murphy.
That is incorrect. We now move to Joey. Joey, what actor took on the now famous role of Mrs. Doubtfire? Is it A, Brad Pitt, B, Robin Williams, or D, Jack Nicholson?
I'm going to go with B, Robin Williams.
You would be correct. Joey Erickson on the board for Husky Productions. That gives us 2 points for Coach Reimer, 0 for Jeremy, and 1 for Joey Erickson. And Joey, you're back on the board. You can tie Coach Reimer here with question number 3. In the movie Groundhog's Day, what problem does Bill Murray's character face? A, needs to get to work on time. B, flies to the wrong state. C, cars break down. Or D, the day keeps repeating.
Like you guys said, I was about 1 year old in 1999. I'm going to go with D. I think it's D.
And D is a good guess. Was that a guess or did you know?
It was a guess, but I've heard about the movie Groundhog Day before.
It's a good movie. It's one of Bill Murray's classics, and it gets you on the board with your second point today. 2 for Coach Reimer, 0 for Jeremy Mattis, and 2 for Joey Erickson. Again, Huskies fans, this tournament is sponsored by the SCSU Huskies app. You can find that on the App Store and the Google Play Store. Coach Reimer, we turn things back over to you with question number 4. What was the highest grossing movie in the 90s? Is it A, Jurassic Park, B, The Lion King, C, Titanic, or D, The Sixth Sense?
C, Titanic.
That is correct. Coach Reimer is up to 3 points, 2 for 2 on his questions that he's had to answer. And now we turn things over to Jeremy Mattis. Jeremy, this is one of my favorite movies, actually. What actors starred in The Truman Show? Is it A, Robin Williams, B, Jim Carrey, C, Morgan Freeman, or D, Nicolas Cage?
I'm going to have to go with B, Jim Carrey.
That is correct. A classic movie from the 90s indeed there in The Truman Show. And Jeremy, you're on the board. You've got a little distance to cover. How are we feeling through 5 questions?
Well, the first one was a little rough, but now we're into it. We got a point on the board. We're rolling now.
We're midway through, and now we turn things over to Joey here for question number 6. In Saving Private Ryan, why did Ryan need saving? Is it A, all his brothers had passed, B, he had secret intel, C, he was the last member of the platoon, or D, he needed backup to win the war?
I'm going to go with C.
That is incorrect. It is not C, the last member of the platoon. So we'll turn things back over to Coach Matt Reimer. In Saving Private Ryan, why did Ryan need saving? Is it A, all his brothers had passed, B, he had secret intel, or D, he needed backup to win the war?
That would be A, all his brothers had passed.
That is correct, Coach Reimer. You have 4 points now. Here leading the way, 4 for Coach Reimer, 1 for Jeremy Mattis, and 2 for Joey Erickson. We're on question number 7, and Coach Reimer, the board turns back over to you. What was the name of the Matrix's main antagonist? Is it A, Neo, B, Digiton, C, Agent Smith, or D, Agent Johnson?
You boys know this one or not?
Maybe. Not sure.
So let's go with the question again. Is it antagonist or protagonist?
Antagonist, with an A. Antagonist.
So what was the last 2 again?
Agent Smith was C, and Agent Johnson was D.
Well, if my English is correct, and you're forcing me here with the dictionary antagonist, then I believe it would be C, Agent Smith.
Well, that was either a really good guess or you knew it. It is Agent Smith. C is the correct answer for question number 7. So Matt Reimer, you have a 5-point total so far. Joey Erickson with 2 and Jeremy Mattis with 1. Again, it is important to note for both Joey and Jeremy, unless they make a comeback here, regardless of what happens, you still can make it into the next round. There will be 5 winners of each of the trivia brackets. And 1 wild card gets in as well, which is the highest point scoring non-winner of this Huskies Trivia Mayhem Tournament of Glory. Again, folks, the SCSU Huskies trivia, or the SCSU Huskies app is the sponsor of this outstanding tournament. A really, really, really fun experience coming up for us here in the later stages of October and early November. Question number 8 is here, and we turn things over to Jeremy Mattis. What city was the movie Home Alone set in? Was it A, Chicago, B, Minneapolis, C, New York, or D, Boston? We're looking for the movie Home Alone.
I have to go with C, New York City.
That is not C. Home Alone 2 was in New York City, which means we turn things over to Joey. What city was the movie Home Alone set in? A, Chicago, B, Minneapolis, or D, Boston?
I'm going to go with the Windy City, Chicago.
It is Chicago. Joey Erickson with point number 3 here today. And Joey Erickson, you get question number 9, the last question that isn't short answer here. Question number 9 is, what's the first rule of Fight Club? A, keep your fists up. B, never let anyone behind you. C, don't talk about it. Or D, sweep the leg.
I'm going to go with C on this one. Don't talk about it.
That is correct. Joey, you are at 4 points, and this is a ball game as we head into question number 10. Coach Matt Reimer with 5, Jeremy Mattis with 1, and Joey Erickson with 4 points here, entering the short answer, question number 10. Now, things are a little bit different for this tournament. I know Matt Reimer is our only returning competitor here, so things are a little bit different rule-wise here for all of us watching as well for question number 10. Before we get to the question, all 3 of you will wager a certain amount of points. You can only wager as many points as you have, and you have to wager at least 1. So for Coach Reimer, he could wager 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Joey Erickson, 1, 2, 3, or 4. And Jeremy Mattis, you kind of don't really have a choice. You're wagering 1 here for question number 10. If you get the question correct, the points that you wager are added onto your current score. If you get the question incorrect, you lose those points. So things are very, very interesting here going into question number 10. We'll start with Coach Reimer. How many points are you wagering today?
Well, I'm going to have to go with 4 here to stay ahead of Joey.
Coach Reimer wagers 4. Jeremy, you can say 1. You don't really get to choose, I guess.
I think I'll just go with the 1, yeah.
Okay, that works. That works. And Joey?
I'll go ahead and just cut mine in half. I'll do 2.
2 is the wager for Joey Erickson. The final question, it is short answer, so I'm going to ask you to write it down on a piece of paper or on your phone and hold it up to the screen so that we can see it once you're all ready. I'll wait for all of you to say that you're ready, and then we'll have you show it to the screen. Question number 10. Before the millennium ended, this movie grabbed one of the most prestigious awards in the film industry. What movie won the Academy Award for Best Picture in 1999? That is a lot of blank stares. Anybody feeling confident about this one?
I was a big Toy Story guy growing up, so that's like, yeah, that's a tough one.
Now, I'll give you all a moment to write down a question. I'll read it, or write down an answer. I'll read it to you again. Before the millennium ended, this movie grabbed one of the most prestigious awards in the film industry. What movie won the Academy Award for Best Picture in 1999? Once you're all ready, give me a thumbs up when you're good to go. Okay, Jeremy is locked in. Coach Reimer, this is
Number 1 seed's going down, Thomas. Number 1 seed's going down.
I don't know. I was only 2 months in the 90s, so we're just gonna roll with this one.
You both have your answers good to go?
Yep.
All right. Can go ahead and show us your answers of what you have. as well as we can see them anyway. So Coach Reimer says Apollo 13. Jeremy Mattis says Lion King, and Joey Erickson says Star Wars. All three are incorrect, which means Coach Reimer is cut down to 1 point. Jeremy, you're down to 0, and Joey, you end up with 2 points here. The correct answer was American Beauty. I've never seen it, so I probably would have gotten that question wrong myself, which means we have an upset here in the opening round. Coach Reimer, I'm going to start with you. It was a hard-fought battle, and down goes number 1 seed.
Yeah, it's yeah. Good job by Joey. Good job, Jeremy.
Well,
I got nothing.
One of the biggest upsets I think that we've seen in the short career of the Huskies Trivia Mayhem. Joey Erickson representing Husky Production is a 15 seed. It's not quite a 16-1, but a 15-1 I think works in the same capacity. Joey, how are you feeling after that win?
Well, I respect Coach Reimer sticking close to his guns. He went with the 90s movies. He played it the right way. It just, towards the end, it was a tough question for all of us. We had to wager, and it just didn't work out. I got lucky a couple times, a couple of good guesses there. I've heard of a lot of. I haven't seen any of those movies before, but I've heard of them, so that helped a lot.
All right. Well, thank you all for your time here today. I hope that you all enjoyed the opening round of the Huskies Trivia Mayhem Tournament of Glory. Again, for all of the Huskies fans out there, be sure to pick up the SCSU Huskies fan app on both the Apple Store and the Google Play Store. With that, gentlemen, thank you again for your time today. Have a great week. And Joey, we'll see you next time here on the black side of the Huskies Trivia Tournament of Glory.